If a mercenary is too scared to go into an apartment complex and they can't handle seeing a black man with a gun, they don't need to be in those streets. And I'm going to come back to the idea that we should not have mercenaries lurking around our communities.
And then people say, and even my friend, that I have a friend that we get into it, but we've been friends for decades. We don't necessarily argue. They keep suggesting all these trainings they can do. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to get their training record. I don't see why they can deny that. I've told them they can redact the cops' names. I don't want their names. I just want to know what training they've been through. Because it's the one, I think, the shooter, because that's the thing is, too, I don't know, because they haven't told me. So I think the shooter was a trainee. I know there was a unit on there that was a trainee. So that means he just came out of the academy, which means he just had de-escalation training. He just had lethal force training. He was just told recently how to handle the situation. And neither he nor those other two officers did. And this should concern everybody. It should concern every person living on that floor. Even if DeAndre Hill was what they were saying he is, right? They did not. They put everyone on that floor at risk by going and hiding and lurking and waiting for a crazed gunman to come out and get in a gunfight with them in a residential apartment hallway that is this wide and narrowly lit. So that was not the proper reaction to someone behind a door that says, I have a gun, cops, that are telling cops from behind a door, I'm going to shoot you in the head. That is not, you don't go down the hall and lurk and wait. You leave the building to de-escalate the situation for your protection. And they are so lucky that not one of those 9 bullets, because they didn't all hit his body. And I really want to go to the apartment complex and just put some stuff on their doors and say, you need to sue the city. Because everybody on that floor got very lucky that one of those bullets that didn't hit his body did not go through the door and hit them while they slept in their bed. They should have never tried to get to a gunfight with somebody in a hallway. And they weren't immediately confronted with them. They had the choice. They had choices. And for me, based on and this is something I want to talk about March 1st, once I get my words together. For me, if you go and look up their de-escalation policy, I can show you step by step in that video, just the minute that they have given me, how they didn't follow their own policy. They should have left that building. For their safety and the safety of others. They should have called for backup, especially since I think 2 out of 3 of them were trainees, especially since they had trainees that didn't know what they were doing. Yet, they should have left the building. They should have called for backup, swapped some other way. They should have brought in, I think, the way they usually handle it. And that's another thing, too. I got to look at how they handle other situations. But for me, they should have left the building. They should have called in backup of some kind, whether it was SWAT to go down there with gear and properly knock on his door. But that's where it comes down to in the first place. And this is something I'm going to do in the city council. Everybody really needs to tune in Tuesday at 6 if they can to me talking, because it's going to be, I don't want to talk myself up or whatever. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be powerful because I have some plans on how I'm going to do it to make my speech powerful. And I'm gonna demonstrate for the city council how those cops should have knocked on their door. And DeAndre Hill's a smart man and he's a black man and he knows how cops knock. Cop knock is literally the only knock we have a name for. There's no other special knocks. It's a cop knock, and a cop knock is like this. And I'm not going to demonstrate because we're in a library, but you know what a cop. You've had cop knock on your door. I've had cop knock on my door. I've had cops knock on my neighbor's doors. Think about it. Think about how cop knocks. Boom, boom. They might do it with a baton or some sort of thing. But they knock and they they don't go, Wichita police. And then some dude too far back, Wichita police. I watched a lot of footage of cops and things, and because it's like, because ACAP, right? So I've watched a lot of this footage of how cops are handling the situations, and I have never in my life heard a cop knock like that. I have never in my life heard a cop announce themselves. It was like they were a DoorDash driver. I've delivered DoorDash. But if it says knock, I knock, and I say, it's your DoorDash, and I walk away. And from the get-go, they made mistakes over and over again. And from the get-go, we're being shown that they're lying. Like the police conference said, they knocked on a door when they went upstairs. But they didn't have an apartment number.